Now, Chelsea have announced that their former midfielder Frank Lampard will be returning to the club as manager. The former England midfielder spent 13 years at the club, where he won 11 major trophies and is still Chelsea's all-time record goal scorer. One man who knows him well and knows his potential, perhaps as a manager, is his uncle and former England manager Harry Redknapp. Harry, thanks very much indeed for joining me. And Harry, as I was saying, you know Frank Lampard better than most. You're his uncle, after all. Is he right to take the job so early in his managerial career?
I think so, Mark. I mean, these opportunities don't come along every day. So when the opportunity comes to manage a club like Chelsea, you've got to grab it with both hands. And listen, he's ready. I've got no doubts about that. You know, if you look at people like, we go at Pep Guardiola, who's a magnificent manager. He's a great player at Barcelona, legend there. Came back and ended up managing the club. Worked with the kids for a little bit, ended up as manager of Barcelona. So, listen, he understands the game. He's got a real touch of class about him as a person. Everybody who's ever come in contact with him or worked with him or coached him or managed him, he's been the best trainer that they've ever seen. No one's worked harder out on the training ground than Frank has to become a great player. So he knows what it takes, and it's going to be great, I think, for the young players at Chelsea, that they're now going to see an opportunity to finally play in the first team. They've got a great academy, but unfortunately not too many kids tend to come through from that academy. I think now with the embargo as well, Frank will give them kids a chance.
But he'll be taking on the likes of Klopp and Guardiola, who you mentioned. I mean, this is big league stuff, and he's been a manager, Harry, for what, a year or so?
Yeah, as I say, I think Pep went straight in almost to Barcelona, so it's not a problem. It's no magic form, Mark, honestly. We all get carried away about geniuses and tacticians and everything else. He understands the game. You don't play all the years he plays. His dad was a great player, 20 years playing at left back for West Ham. He's been brought up with the game. Football is his life. He understands what all there is to know about the game. So, he understands people. He's got a lovely way with him. I don't see it being a problem. The players will look forward to him coming and managing them. And I think the fans of Chelsea, all the ones that I've spoke to, are absolutely delighted to see Frank coming back as their manager.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea's not a club known for their patience necessarily with managers who don't win things, or even their patience with managers who do win things, saying that. I mean, do you worry that it might be a short tenure? They've got to give him time, haven't they?
No, I don't know. Oh, he needs time, of course. I mean, the embargo's on. So he's not, he finished fourth last year. He can't bring any new players in. So if they can finish, I think if they finish fourth next year, they'd be doing very well. That's my honest opinion. I look at the league, I see Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham. I think them three at the moment, they're stronger. I've got no doubts this year they'll be the top three again. So if Frank, fourth place for Chelsea, I think this year will be a success, and if he can win a cup or whatever. But he knows it's a tough job. But he will, hopefully, we'll see some of them kids that we all keep talking about, who keep going out on loan, never playing, finally come back and wear the Chelsea shirt. And this could be a new dawn for Chelsea, the beginning of a new era with young kids coming into the team, getting the chance to play and showing what they can do. And it's great to have a young English manager managing a top six team again. I mean, it's something that happens very rarely, and so I'm delighted to see that happen. There's some great young managers about in this country, in the Championship and lower divisions, who never get that opportunity, though. So to see Frank doing it, I couldn't be more pleased.
Yeah, and will you be tempted to get on the phone and help him out, Harry?
He don't need my help. No, I just missed a call from him about 5 minutes ago, actually. But no, I shall be going to watch some games at Chelsea when I can, and get along there and support him. But he's had a great year. I mean, he's been a good learning curve at Derby. He had a great relationship with the chairman, Mel Morris, who I think has been excellent throughout this whole thing. He's dealt with it really admirably. So that's been a good experience. He's had that 1 year under his belt where he's worked in the Championship. He'll go back into Chelsea. He is so thorough and so professional in everything he does. He's a very, very bright guy. So he'll leave no stones unturned in managing Chelsea Football Club, believe you me.
And when you do speak to him, when you do phone him back after this, what will the one bit of advice you would give him? What would the one thing the important thing you'll say to him?
Well, I think he'll be himself. You know, he knows that. I really, he's not a lad that, you know, I would be ringing up and offering too much advice to, because he's a very astute boy, a very clever boy. So, but you know, if ever he wanted me to go and watch a player for him or anything on a Saturday afternoon, I'm always available. I'd love to do it, but he doesn't need my help. He's got his dad as well. He's obviously very close to his dad. His dad follows him, you know, all over the country, watching him manage now. So no, he won't be short of any help if he ever needs it. But I don't think he does. He'll have good people around him, and he's a strong character. I'm sure he's going to do well.
Yeah, just while you're there, Harry, I mean, just a word about the England women's team, the Lionesses. I mean, what did you make of that in the World Cup?
Oh, fantastic, Mark. I loved it. I thought the standard was amazing. It really was good. It was great to watch. Some of the stuff they played, my God. You know, it was both teams, America and England. You know, there was players there. I rang a friend of mine who manages in the lower divisions. I said, "You want to take a few of these next year to your club?" You know, they were that. It was fantastic to watch. It really was, and it was exciting. And I felt we were so unlucky. I mean, the offside goal was inches. You know, the penalty miss. It could have all gone the other, all been so different. But no, lots of positives to take, and lots of young girls will be watching that and thinking, "Yeah, I want to play." It was great to watch.
And do you think the Premier League should take them under the wing, and this could be the moment the women's game really takes off?
Well, I think the clubs should, you know, they should certainly. I think it would be a great idea to see them play on a Sunday, maybe at the stadiums. You know, the clubs they represent, let them play their games there. You know, the pitches don't do it. The pitches are so fantastic now. You're not going to ruin a football pitch. They let other people, other games. We have American football there. So whatever club it is, whether it's Arsenal ladies, play the games on a Sunday. If the first team are not playing, if they're playing Saturday, play them on a Sunday. Let's get them onto the big stadiums, you know, and let's get some crowds here. Because it deserves that, I think.
Yeah, and it does seem as if the crowds are there. Harry, just on one serious issue, the last time we spoke about this appalling knife crime, and you were helping your friend Mark Prince with the charity. Just a catch up on that. I mean, how's it going? Knife crime seems to be getting worse, but I gather you've been out and about with him a little bit.
Yeah, well, Mark's a fantastic, amazing man. He really is. I mean, he lost his son, as we know. You know, he got stabbed to death. Young player, fantastic young man who was going to leave school and sign for QPR. So Mark's dedicated his life now to trying to help young people, to educate them, to go into schools, youth clubs. And we're looking to set up some facilities, a boxing club, football facilities where the kids can come off the street and get some focus in their life, and maybe, you know, get people in to teach them different skills when they leave school, you know, in the workplace. So that's what Mark is working towards. But there's lots of people out there. I met David Deans the other week, the ex-chairman of Arsenal, who spends his whole life now going into prisons and talking to people and trying to help and rehabilitate. You know, he's been round to something like 90 prisons so far, David Dean. It's amazing. There are people out there really wanting to do something about it. We have to do something about it because it's scary what's happening on our streets at the moment.
Yeah, and it does seem to be getting worse. Well, look, Harry, thanks very much. Just a last question. Are you a Boris Johnson or Jeremy Hunt man for Prime Minister?
Oh, my God, do you know what? I don't know. I'll give up, to be honest with you. You know, it's a toss-up, isn't it? It's a toss-up, you know. You know, I don't understand about politics, Mark. What Labour say one thing, Conservative, they never agree on anything. Surely there must be something one day someone said this is good for the country and both parties will agree on it. But they never do. So in the end, I start to lose a little bit of faith in politicians.